Good afternoon, everyone. He probably forgot that I'm also alumnus of Christ. So it's great to be back after 17 years in Christ College. It used to be Christ College that time, so I did my first 2 years. So that's where my foundation came. Is it visible? Yeah, okay, great. So I believe that life is all about working towards realizing dreams. And the entrepreneurial journey one undergoes is just part of that as well. My dream of entrepreneurial journey was seeded way back as I came from a business family background. But they started taking up shape when I topped my engineering batch at IIT Chennai. And unlike almost my entire batch, which ended up going to abroad, I was probably the only topper who decided to take up MBA at IIM Bangalore, so that I could understand what it takes to manage your own enterprise. And I ended up at IIM, unlike most of my colleagues, taking all possible kind of mixture of subjects, auditing everything, attending much more. My friends will be amazed to see me that how I'm appearing at every other class which is happening. Because I used to go there, and even the professor used to get confused. Is he in OB, or is finance, or is marketing, or is in virtually in every session. I did all my credit courses, I audited all the other courses, so you can understand. Because I knew as a prospective entrepreneur, I will have to do what is known as multitasking. So I ended up doing that, and entrepreneurship requires multitasking. That's what I learned first thing. Then my first entrepreneurial project was the expansion of my existing family business, which used to be a very small manufacturing industry when I took this up. So the first task involved, let's just say, raising funds from bank, getting clearances from authorities, rolling out installation, conducting recruitment, and driving out the marketing initiatives. So you must be wondering why I'm telling you all this, because this is way back. This was like 96. But the interesting part is that even after 15 years later, when I embarked on my latest fintech startup in the new internet, mobile, and cloud era, the tasks have remained the same. Okay, I'll come back. So I'll come back to my journey in a while. So in the interim period of 15 years post that, the manufacturing startup that I was leading had grown multifold, but it has also kind of matured. It has reached a maturity stage. And in the first .com era, if somebody read, it recall, was around 2000, when I had done an internet startup, which was on line of being a digital wallet, empowering, enabling payments for e-commerce sites. But as you can understand, it was way back in 2000 and way too ahead of its time, and also died early. But by 2010-11, it was fairly clear to me that it was time to spawn new dreams. I was also very clear that it would be tech-led. I was initially undecided about the domain, but while evaluating different opportunities which were available, it figured to me that finance is my strong suit and in fact my passion. To explain the context, basically in the past decade I have been actively trading, investing. I had become a mutual fund advisor, I had become a life insurance advisor, I had become a general insurance advisor. Not so much for advising others, but more because I love to dabble in all these kind of subjects and take up all this in this area. So I chose fintech to be my startup in 2012, well before fintech had become the buzzword that it is today. So as I mentioned, the task involved in establishing the startup this time remained the same. You can see the task, the period had changed, the task remained the same. It was again raising funds, getting regulatory clearances, rolling out your product, doing the product development, hiring, conducting recruitment, and driving customer adoption. So, but there was two main differences. The first one, the tasks were not sequential this time. The first time around, it was 15 years back, the tasks were more sequential. But this time, these were all parallel. So you were doing all of them together. So, and the more important major differences was that this engagement this time was more, the last engagement which I had was more like an arranged marriage. The project was assigned to me. But this time, this engagement was more like your love marriage. Okay? So, now I was doing what I love, and I love what I do. And what happens when you do that? This is what some people had to say. Steve Jobs said, the great way to do great work, the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you didn't find it, look for it. And David Frost said, don't aim for success. If you just do what you love and you believe it, it will come to you. So, what happened? The same, this story is similar and identical. So when this happened, when I got job, when this happens, when you are in love, life becomes a dream. If any of you are in love, you know that. So that happens, and then things happen like that. And this started happening to my latest startup. Okay, so we started winning recognitions, awards, in different arenas, different places, and virtually getting everything from different Reuters, Barclays, you name the platform, and we beat it. So we won all of them repeatedly across, and then we started winning contracts for our products. We have deployed a product at Software Corporation, we won a contract, we got invited by UTB Bank, one of the largest bank for building product. This just happened a few days back. So you can see, once you start living your dream, once you start doing what you love, all this happens to you automatically. So you know what I figured, that realizing dreams is not in the destiny of your startup, but it is in your startup journey itself. Okay. So and when that happens, when you do what you love and love to do, you start living up your dreams. And you know, so that's what this is my final thing. As Salman Khan says in Big Boss, do whatever you want to do, man, but have fun, man. Live your dream, man, and don't trouble your mother, man. So cheers. If you want to know more about my fintech startup, you can visit this or Google me or Google my startup, and that's it for now. Thanks.